What's up, YouTube? Reno here. This is like 2 videos in about a month's time. What is happening? Start off with some housekeeping. I'm smoking my Jake Hackard pipe. It's a little stubby billiard. It's a beautiful pipe. It's got the black marble stem. That smooth top right there, so you get to see the grain. And of course, a rusticated bowl. Smoking some Old Toby from Middle Earth Tobaccos. Pretty sure this is a Virginia. Tastes like a Virginia. I like it though. Smooth. So, decided to make a video today. No real reason. Wanted to smoke my pipe, so I figured, might as well make a video too, you know? I don't do them too often, so when I get a chance, I'll probably knock one out. I almost bought another pipe a couple weeks ago. Actually, another Jake Hackard pipe. I was like this close to hitting the buy it now button, but something told me to just wait, which I'm kind of happy I did, only because I had some other bills come up unexpectedly, and the money I would have spent on the pipe went to those bills, so I guess it kind of worked out. But I got the itch, man. I got to get a new pipe. I got to. This was my last new pipe, and I got it in 2014, so it's been way too long. Way too long. Last time I made a video, last month, I hadn't had any coffee, so I was like kind of low energy, you know. I don't know if you're the same as me, but if I don't have my coffee in the morning, my brain's functioning at like 50%. Like, I'm not as like sharp, I'm not as energetic, I'm not as handsome for some reason. Don't really know how that works, but you know. And also, I was in like the sun kinda, so kind of like washing out my beard. I mean, I got some more gray in my beard. I mean, that's just life. It's gonna happen every year. You get a little more. But in that sunlight in the last video, you could really see it. And I was like, Jesus. Especially compared to the video I made last year. Like, I don't know if it was just lighting or I just had a lot more gray in my beard, but it was disconcerting. Like, I know I'm getting older, but I'm not that old yet. Some guys go gray early, man. My wife went to high school with a guy, and he had gray hair in high school. Like, it wasn't fully gray, but it was like going gray already. It's crazy. It reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons, where it shows a picture of Mr. Burns from high school, and he was like already bald. He pretty much looked the same. But I hear, excuse me, I hear redheads tend to go gray quickly. Not sure why, but I always thought it was kind of like that old adage, the candle that burns brightest burns out the fastest. I know I'm fucking that up, that's not how it goes, but you get the idea. So since I have bright, red, beautiful hair that everybody's envious of, because everybody loves gingers, it's a proven fact, I don't get to hold on to it as long, because it's so glorious. And now, there's a bee in here. I'm slightly allergic. Not that bad, but enough to not want to get stung. No, fuck it. Let's let it hang out. No, it went away. I don't mind bees, but wasps, man. Wasps freak me out. It's a good tip. You might already know this, you might not. But if you don't know it, it's a good tip. If you ever get stung by a bee or a wasp, get a little bit of sugar, add some water to it, make like a paste, and then rub it on the bee sting or the wasp sting, and it'll make the pain go away. I learned that when I was a kid. I got stung by a wasp when I was running around the sprinklers, and whoever the neighbor kid was that I was playing with, his mom must have done that for him before, because after I got stung, obviously I was a little kid, so I was like crying and in pain. And so he told my mom about that, and so she did it, and it worked. And ever since then, when I get stung, that's what I do. Yeah, life tips from Reno the Piper. So, last couple videos I did, I've been wearing hats. Actually, I think in most of my videos I wear hats, except for when I have a shaved head, maybe. But as you can see, my hair is pretty long and bushy right now. Actually letting it grow out. I want to do a certain Halloween costume, and the character I'm going to do has longer red hair. It's from Game of Thrones. I won't say who, because I don't really have a reason. I'll just tell you. It's Tormund Giantsbane. He's a wildling, if you weren't aware. And if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, then you're missing out, dude. Because Game of Thrones is not only an amazing show, it's the greatest show ever made. Like, I know that sounds like hyperbole, but it's real, man. Like, that show is like, if they took every like epic movie like that, like Gladiator, 300, Lord of the Rings, put them all together and made a series out of them with the same quality, or if not better, that's Game of Thrones. Like, it's the best show on TV, and they're not gonna beat it. Like, once this is over, that's it, man. Like, I mean, they might come close, but I don't think they'll ever make a show better than this. I don't. The source material is so good, and they adapt it so well, and the actors fit the characters' roles like perfectly. I mean, I can't honestly think of any ones I don't like where I'm like, they could have cast that one better. Well, actually, one. Who is he? The King Beyond the Wall. What's his name? Mance Rayder. Sorry, so many characters. Mance Rayder. I thought that they should have cast somebody else for him, because when I read the books, I did not picture him to look like that at all. And I heard originally they had wanted to cast someone else. I forget who the actor was right now. Fuck, who was it? Anyway, I don't remember. But I remember when I read it, like, the person turned down the role. And then later, like after Game of Thrones became huge, obviously, he was talking to some reporter and said that he turned down the role, but now he regrets it. And the actor who they had originally wanted to cast, I thought would have been perfect. Again, I don't remember who. And if I do remember, then I'll put it in the description below. But other than that, like, Mance Rayder is really the only character I thought that they could have cast a little better. And the guy didn't do a bad job. Like, he did a good job, but it's just, he didn't look like Mance Rayder to me. Especially the way they describe him in the book. I pictured him to be younger. Maybe not a whole lot younger, but a little bit younger. His features, I think, would have been a little more striking. A little more of a handsome guy. At least that's the way they described him, I felt, in the book. Or at least that's how I pictured him, even if that's not how they described him. And definitely more diplomatic. Obviously, he would have to be if he's going to unite all those tribes. And the guy they cast in is just, he didn't really seem like he had that magic thing that, you know, great leaders have. Game of Thrones. It's so good. Like, how could you not love Game of Thrones? It's amazing. Speaking of fantasy novels, it's another B. I'm going to read Lord of the Rings again. This will be my third time reading it. I love those books. Whether it's my favorite book or books series or not, I don't want to say. I don't really like picking favorites, because then you read some new book that you love and you're like, oh, this is my favorite now. So until I read like a couple thousand books, I won't say like, oh, this is my favorite book, but it would be up there. Like if I had a top 3 list, it'd be in the top 3 for sure. It's just a large undertaking, man. It'll take me probably 3 to 6 months to finish them, especially now since I don't read as much. I'm a much slower reader than I used to be. Back when I read Game of Thrones trilogy. Back when I read Game of Thrones series, the book series, I read them all in 4 months. And that's when I was reading a lot, like every day, chapters and chapters a day. If I try to do that now, it'd probably take me a year to read all those books. I don't know if it's that I gotten lazy or I just don't have as much. I mean, I definitely don't have as much free time as I used to. It's just hard, man. Like, I'm tired, like when I get home from work, and reading doesn't really seem like something I want to do most days. I've been reading more manga. Been reading One Punch Man, and I'm trying to finish Berserk. I'm like halfway through it right now. I think book 19 is the next one I need to read. So I'll finish those eventually, but you know, it takes a while to read through those because there's 37 volumes right now. But I have to say that is probably my favorite manga / anime series. It's just so brutal. Like, it's dark fantasy. Sex, violence, profanity. I mean, you name it, it's in that book. In those books. If you're interested in Berserk, I would recommend checking out the trilogy. They released like a movie trilogy a few years back. It's very well done. It only covers like the first 12 volumes, I think. Maybe 13. But they broke it up into 3 movies. And if you watch those and you like them, then I would recommend reading the mangas, because that's the only other way you're going to see the rest of it. They recently came out with like a new series in Japan that covers more of the later mangas. I actually had to stop watching it because it went past where I am in the books, and I don't want to spoil the books. I'd rather read the books first and then watch the show. That's actually what I did with Game of Thrones. I watched the first season, and I was like, this is awesome, I have to read the books. And I didn't watch any of them until I finished the books. Well, as I finished, like, I read book 2, and then season 2 came out, and then I watched season 2 because I had read book 2. And then when season 3 came out, I had already read book 3, so I watched, you know, you get the idea. So that's just the way I am. I'd rather read about it, because usually, almost 99% of the time, the book is going to be better than the adaptation of the film, whether it's an anime or a movie. And not to say that they do bad jobs. There's plenty that are, like, awesome. Like, honestly, the only one I could say that I enjoyed more movie version rather than the anime or manga would probably Akira. The manga's good, but there's just a lot of extra stuff in there, and I feel like they did a good job with the anime of trimming it down to, like, you know, the essential things. They cut out a lot of the filler and all this stuff that's just like, I mean, that's cool, but, you know, I don't really need to see it. rambling. But that's what these videos are for. You gotta listen to me ramble. You want to watch them, this is what you're gonna deal with. I just can't keep this one lit. Me and the missus are going to Magic Mountain tomorrow, so that should be cool. I haven't been to Magic Mountain probably since I remember. I might have gone once when I was in my 20s, but I can't remember. I know I used to go a lot as a teenager in high school. I think one of my friends had like a season pass, so we would go all the time. But the last roller coaster I went on, like crazy roller coaster with loops, like I got nauseous. So if we hit up any of the loop roller coasters, that's gonna be the last one to go on. So if I do get nauseous, then we can just go home. I don't know what changed. Like I have stomach issues now, so it could be it. But yeah, I just can't. I can't handle it. At least that time I couldn't. Maybe this time will be different. Just how embarrassing would that be, like, if you threw up on a roller coaster? And it's not like you can, like, well, let me just throw up over the side real quick and make sure it doesn't get on anybody. Like, you're going, like, crazy. So if I throw up, I'm probably going to be throwing up, like, up in the air, and it's going to be, like, hitting the people in back of me. That'd be disgusting. So yeah, that'll probably be it for this video. I've been rambling a while. I already got 17 minutes. It's the longest video I made in a while. So, hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, well, I don't know what to tell you. Too bad, I guess. Don't watch my next one. Peace out.